Hey, what's up? It's Nico. Today I would like to ship an update, and this video demonstrates a slightly different user experience from what you already know inside of Closer's Copy. But before we get started, just 2 days ago we surpassed 10,000 members in our Facebook group. So if you haven't already, please join us at facebook.com/groups/closerscopy. Now, one of the biggest challenges for new members is it's hard to get started. You know, you have to understand the concept of frameworks, workflows, maybe even build your own frameworks, and all this stuff can be challenging. And while this is still the most impactful thing you can do inside Closer's Copy, I think new members need to get a head start, and that's why I've created a new tool. Well, actually, I've improved an existing tool, and that tool is Longform. Now let me open this up. This is what Longform looks like. It has 3 tabs at the top. It reads Tools, Transitions, and Write. Now let me head over to Write. Write is kind of the UI that you're already familiar with, but it's my least favorite option, and that's why I put it last. Something is missing here, and that is shortcuts. Now shortcuts now is transitions. You will find all your shortcuts, well, actually transitions over here in a more organized manner, but it works the same way. So basically, these 2 tabs, they make up the old Longform experience. What's new is it's the Tools tab. Now the Tools tab shows a brief section and 14 predefined tools that we often use when writing long-form copy. I'm going to show you how to use these tools, and I'm going to introduce some of them. But then I will monitor the usage, improve the tools, and later on create a dedicated video for each of these tools. But let's get started. Let me remove everything on my canvas and try to use the headline tool. Now if I click the headline tool, I get a notification. Select between 5 to 30 words. Let me do this again. Select between 5 to 30 words. All right, so we need to have some copy on the canvas. What about how to become vegan in 30 days? Now these are 7 words, so it meets the requirement of 5 to 30 words. So watch what happens while I select this copy. Now that I've selected 5 words, these tools become available, and that's indicated by the blue border around it. Let me do this again. None of these tools are available right now. But once I select 5 words, all these tools except for the paragraph tool become available. Why does this paragraph tool does not work? Let's click it. Select between 30 to 100 words. So this tool requires a little bit more context, but all these other tools are now available to me. So you can see by the indication of the blue border if you've selected enough context in order for the tool to work. Now, what happens if I click headline again? Let me select everything. It says, this tool requires a brief. All right, so all these tools, except for this tool, all these tools, they require a content brief. You need to write a brief, but you don't actually need to write it. You can use AI to write it. So you have this tool does not require a brief. So if I, for example, use the headline tool, it says, hey, this tool requires a brief. Benefits, hey, this tool requires a brief. Drawbacks, you know, all these tools require a brief except for the brief tool. So the first thing you do is you set up the brief. You can either enter something yourself, and that's limited to 250 characters. It's a very short brief, or you can just use the brief tool and let AI write it for you. So that's what I'm going to do right now. In this post, we show you how to become vegan in just 30 days. We discuss the pros and cons of a vegan diet, as well as provide you with all the necessary information for you to begin your vegan journey today. All right, I select this and put it in my brief box, and that's it. Now you can use all these tools. You only have to do this once, but it's necessary. And of course, you can change this in between your generations if you want to, but usually once this is set up, you're good to go. All right, let's try again. Select the context and write a headline. All right, there we go. And you now may have noticed that the app now scrolls to the results once they are there. How to become vegan in just 30 days. Well, that's a little boring. The 30-day vegan diet plan that's easy, delicious, and totally nutritious. A step-by-step guide to going vegan in just 30 days. I use this one. Let's go. And you know what? I do a little bit of formatting. Now, formatting is not required for AI, but you know, I don't just generate copy, I actually want to be part of the process. So, what's next? Maybe we want an outline. And you may have noticed that I've now removed the original context from the canvas. That's because I will just use the headline from now on. So, this is my context. I scroll all the way up and I just click outline. And that's all to it. That's how you use these tools. You need to have a brief and you need to select something on the canvas that you want AI to think about. So I want AI to take the headline and write an outline for my article. Okay, let's see. The vegan diet, pros and cons. Okay, I don't know. Okay, maybe we can just take the first one, or let's have a look at the second one. Okay, for this example, I'm going to use the second one. There we go. So again, I do a little bit of formatting. All right, now that my subheadings are set up, I want to have an overall introduction. So again, I'm selecting my H1 headline and write an introduction using the introduction tool. All right, let's see. If you're looking for a way to lose weight, improve your health, or simply start eating healthier foods, then you're in luck. We've got you covered. You will discover the benefits of a vegan diet as well as learn how to get started on a vegan diet today. All right, sounds perfect. Boom, there we go. So now let's enter the first subheading. And you know what? I use the introduction tools on all my subheadings. How to become vegan in just 30 days. Alright, the vegan diet is one of the most popular dietary choices today, but many people still don't know much about it. So let's add this. In this post, in this section, we will walk you through everything you need to know about the vegan diet, including the benefits, downsides, and why it's so popular today. You could use this introduction tool on your subheadings as well. But let's check the other results. If you've ever tried to go vegan, you've probably heard some of the common myths about how it can be done. But have you ever wondered why so many people still choose not to adopt a vegan lifestyle? I like this better, so I'm going to remove this one and I go with this one. So lesson learned, always check all the results first and then move on. You may be wondering now, hey Nico, when should I use what tool? And you know what? I will make a dedicated training for each of these tools. But for now, you as the copywriter needs to make the decision based on your context. Let me give an example. Let me scroll down a little bit here. And you can see this headline, the pros and cons of a vegan diet. So the pros and cons, this translates to the benefits and the drawbacks. So this would be a good section to use the benefits and the drawback tool. So let me make up some context. The benefits of a vegan diet. Now, of course, I could just select the pros and the cons of a vegan diet, but I don't want the cons inside my context. So I just make up a new context, which I probably will delete later, and then use the benefits tool. Or you can just, you know what, you can just copy and paste this and say, for example, the pros of a vegan diet, and then you say the cons of a vegan diet. And you know, I will probably delete this later on, but I know, because I'm a little bit trained on these tools, that this works better than selecting the pros and the cons. So yes, there's some little experimentation to it, but you will figure it out pretty fast. So let's write the benefits. All right, let's check the results. I instantly go to the second result because it simply has more copy. So let's check this one. There are several benefits to a vegan diet, including it is good for your health, can be easier to follow than other diets, can help you lose weight, and is a more sustainable way to eat. So, yes. Without reading it all out, you can pause the video and do this yourself. I just simply add it. And I'm going over to the cons and use the drawbacks tool. A vegan diet has many benefits for the body. It is good for your health, helps you lose weight, and makes you feel better. However, there are also some drawbacks to this type of diet. The biggest one is that you have to give up all animal products. That means no meat, dairy, eggs, or seafood. We just add this, and we got lucky because AI made a cool transition from benefits to drawbacks. So now we just wrote the pros and the cons of a vegan diet by using two tools, namely the benefits and the drawbacks. But you know what? We haven't finished the previous section, so let's scroll up again. How to become a vegan in 30 days. You know, with all these how-to headlines, there's one tool that works extremely well. And that is the tutorial tool, because a how-to headline screams for a step-by-step guide. So let me just select this and use the tutorial tool over here. Step 1, start by choosing a vegan diet. Step 2, start eating more vegetables. Get rid of all animal products, and so on and so forth. So we just add the step-by-step sequence over here. Because it's me, I do like formatting. Alright, that's good enough for now. I like to move on. So we have this section. I would consider it finished. The next one, done. What to eat and what not to eat. In my experience, AI works better if you split this. So, for example, what to eat on a vegan diet. And then you have another subtopic, what not to eat. So again, let me select this and use the introduction tool. Alright, if you're looking for an easy way to eat healthier, or if you want to make a switch to a vegan diet, then you've come to the right place. Well, that sounds a little bit fluffy to me. Let's check the next one. A vegan diet is a diet that excludes all animal products. Although the term vegan can be used to refer to people who do not eat any animal products, the term more commonly refers to those who choose to eat only plant-based foods. That's more on point in my book, so I'm going to add this. And we can do the same over here. We can do the same over here. You know, this introduction tool, it's a pretty good start to start your subheadings as well. But I don't want to bore you, so we are going to use a different tool this time. What about maybe this headline, Final Thoughts, screams for a conclusion. So let's try this one. Select between 5 to 30 words. So that's the problem with these tools. You have to have at least 5 words. So final thoughts when going for a vegan lifestyle. Now you can remove this afterwards. Maybe you just want your heading to read final thoughts, but at least for AI, you have to enhance it and give it a little bit more context in order to use this tool. In conclusion, it's not easy to go vegan overnight. In fact, it takes a lot of commitment, determination, and consistency. But if you commit to it, you will find that it's an easy way to live a healthier, happier lifestyle. It's also good for the environment, your health, and your wallet. So why not give it a try? So just add the conclusion. Maybe remove this if you don't want it, because remember, I just added it for AI to understand. And yeah, what else? Like I said, these how-to headlines, they scream for the step-by-step tutorial tool. So let's use this one more time. How to stay healthy on a vegan diet. Step 1, go vegan. If you're ready to go vegan, then you're already halfway there. Step 2, drinks lots of water. Step 3, exercise. Step 4, meditate. It's up to you if you want to use this. I just like to use the first result just to show you that Closest Copy can actually create very good content on the first generation. But of course, you can check the second, make a decision, start slowly, build on success. Consistency is key. That's probably better than, or you know what? Why not add this and say step 5, step 6, step 7, step 8, or whatever. So it's really up to you. As I said, I can go on and on with these how-to headlines and use the tutorial tool, but I want to introduce something else. So let's see. How to become a vegan in 30 days. Now we have this tutorial style here, but maybe I want to show you another tool. What about the listicle tool? How do I know if I should be a vegan? What are the pros and cons of being a vegan? How to become a vegan in 30 days? What is a vegan diet? What are the pros and cons of a vegan diet? How to become a vegan in 30 days? Get started. Eat plenty of veggies and fruit. Find a support group. Make sure you're healthy. So as you can see, I could just add this to my section here or even create a new section. It all comes down to the content brief that you set up. And of course, you can change this in between. And then the context you select. If you, for example, want to use the paragraph tool, you can't. You need to select between 30 and 100 words. So if I select, for example, this paragraph here, we've selected 108 words. That's too much. So for example, we can select this one, and now we can use the paragraph tool. And the paragraph tool just tries to write the next meaningful paragraph based on this. Or maybe you want to select this portion of your paragraph and then use it. But while selecting, you will always see if a tool is available or not. So as I'm selecting, these tools are updating. So none of these tools work now. If I try to use them, select between 5 to 30 words, but the paragraph tool works. If I want to use any of the other tools, you have to select less context. All right, we will have dedicated training on all these tools once they are finalized. But as you can see, this is beta, and I'm going to release it because I want you to use it. I'm going to monitor the usage. We are going to improve the tools as we go. And then once we are there, we will have dedicated videos in our help section. But for now, just use them and experience it for yourself. All right, what else do we have? We now have this blog post over here, and it's nowhere near finished, but it's good enough for now for this presentation. What I want to show you is that we have another tool updated, and that is Insights. Now, Insights looks a little bit different as well. You have Insights. Now, this is a little bit redundant, but I feel like this is the best label that explains what happens over here. You have emotions, densities, spam, and NLP. Now let me get started with Insights. If I hit check Insights, I now get a Hemingway style inspired overview of what happens over here. We have a readability score of grade 5. It reads good. The reading time is 4 minutes, speaking time is 6 minutes, some stats, and then you have these adverbs here. So 10 adverbs meeting the goal of 14 or fewer. So there's nothing you need to do now. Maybe you just want to unselect them because it's pretty colorful. So just click on it. 4 cases of passive voice meeting the goal of 18 or fewer. So that's good as well. But maybe you want to see where are they. You can just find them like here and over here and over here. Or you can just hide them all and then just enable the passive voice, which will be a little bit easier on your eyes compared to having all these colors. So what I'm trying to say here is that you can highlight all the recommendations or just highlight the ones that you're interested in. So for example, 11 of 88 sentences are hard to read. 3 of 88 sentences are very hard to read. Yeah, and the logic here is inspired by the Hemingway app. Unfortunately, they don't have an API, so we needed to come up with our own stuff. But if you're familiar with the Hemingway app, you know what's happening here. If not, we will have training on this as well. So next up is the emotions tab. Let me check the emotions here. Now we switched from a model-based approach to a keyword-based approach. What does it mean? I've decided to go that route because that way I can show you the keywords that may trigger an emotion. So for example, if I click on fear, I now get these keywords highlighted that may trigger the emotion of fear. So for example, lose. But of course, in this context, losing weight will probably not trigger fear. So what else? Like for example, joy. Help triggers joy. Feel triggers joy. Good triggers joy. Perfect, food, help, improve. All this stuff triggers joy. What about trust? A guide, a plan, an expert, in fact, a leading expert, perfect food. Well, these keywords, they trigger trust. Disgust, unhealthy, lose as well. Feel, it seems like feel triggers every emotion. You have to be careful with these things because a keyword-based approach never takes the context into consideration. If you want to use the emotions tool, then always check for yourself if this makes sense or if this does not make sense. Excitement, good. Worrying, wait, good. Feel. Start, yeah, if you start something, you're excited. If you improve something, you're excited. Yeah, guys, so I'm sure we can do better over time, but if we go back to our model, we wouldn't have these keyword highlighting, and I think it's more powerful this way, and that's why I've decided to go this route. Now, densities is still the same. Nothing changed here. It just gives you the word densities for 1 word, 2 word, up to 5 words. Spam, nothing changed here. It will probably say no spam detected because our AI doesn't really come up with spam. Now, lastly, here's this NLP tab. And this is probably more beta than this whole tool. This is like beta, because if we check NLP, we will ask Google, Google's NLP engine, and we give you the raw data right now. There's no recommendations. We don't enrich the data. We do nothing. We just show it to you. So Google says the sentiment of the given text is mixed and neutral. Score 0.1, magnitude 50.8. You have no idea what this means? Well, we will have training on this once we improve this overview. But for now, you can check, for example, the entities, and you can see how Google views your article. So in Google's eyes, these are the entities that Google think you are talking about. So you are talking about a diet plan. You're talking about benefits. You're talking about consumer goods. So, as I said, this is the raw data from Google. We are not enriching it right now. We will along the way. But for now, if you cannot make sense of this, don't use it and wait for us to update it. Lastly, we have categories. So Google says, with a confidence of 80%, this article is about food, drink, cooking, and recipes. With a confidence of 70%, it's about health, nutrition, special, and restricted diets. So now you can see how Google views your article. And if it doesn't view your article the way you want it to view it, then you need to change it. Yeah, that's it for now, guys. This video already got pretty long. There's a lot of stuff for you to check out. So I hope you like this video. I hope you like this update. As I said, this insights, it's beta. This long form, it's beta again, because we will update it on a daily basis based on the feedback we're getting. And yeah, that's it for now. Enjoy the update and have a great day.